Alright, hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Nightcap with me, your host, Kottabos. Now, Nightcap, as I always explain at the beginning, is a show where I play a casual game, have a delicious nightcap wine of some form, and talk about some of the major news that's happened this week in the gaming industry. Now, the wine I'm drinking this week is a lovely Marsanne from Pandora Cellars. If you'd like to know a bit more about the wine, a link of course will be in the description, and it will be on my Lee's Play series this week for Borderlands, so do please check that out. And as for the news of the week, as you can see, we're playing Simcity, and unfortunately, we're back to Simcity being in the news. Oh, I was hoping we were done with SimCity. But no, we have this. The Nissan Leaf charging station DLC. Now, it is a free DLC that EA has released for the SimCity game. And it's just... Oh, EA, why? Why? Now, a lot of people are not liking it because it is product placement in the game. Now, I typically don't mind product placement if it's done well. It fits in some games, such as Homeland. It's been a while since I've played that game, but if I'm remembering correctly, there's a level where you fight through, I believe, a Home Depot. And a lot of people complained about that, but for me, it worked, because, well, it was a game set in an occupied United States. To me, that was fine because, well, I see those all the time. That's what you would see if you were in that situation. And so it worked. It fit in the world. And things like racing games, where you have ads plastered along the side of the track, it works because it's in that world. But there's no Nissan in the Sims universe. Most of the companies in the Sims universe have strange names with the word llama included in them in some way, shape, or form. And so bringing in a real-world company into it it's immersion breaking. And quite honestly, just a little bit sad. It bothers me on that regard because it doesn't fit with the world. But beyond just it not fitting with the world, you also have what it is. It is, as I said, a free DLC, and a free DLC that for a mere 5,000 simoleons, you can plop it down in your city. It creates happiness in quite a large radius around the charging station. And it doesn't produce pollution, sewage, doesn't require electricity or water. It's basically a superstructure. It needs nothing and just provides happiness free of charge. I mean, it does require maintenance cost, but that's minuscule compared to the amount of happiness. I mean, you can see these large buildings that I have around the Nissan Leaf charging stations. They were like these little houses up here, and then became these large apartment buildings nearly instantly upon popping one of these things down. It worked better than the parks that I put nearby. In my mind, it's kind of a cheap building. And not as in money-wise, it's 5,000, not exactly expensive, but in its meaning, it just doesn't fit in the game. Neither in a play style sense or as immersion sense. And to me, even though it isn't this, they definitely didn't say that it is an apology for the bad release. It kind of feels like that to me, that you would release a free DLC so soon after the tremendously botched launch of this game. It reeks of an apology in my mind, and of extraordinarily hollow one. It's product advertising in a game that doesn't fit. And I also kind of have to wonder with Nissan, did they really look at the demographics? How many gamers can afford a Nissan Leaf? I mean, I'm a gamer and also have quite the good day job. I'm a geophysicist by day, and not even I can afford a Nissan Leaf, and it's an expensive car. So I kind of wonder, if Nissan really thought that through. But EA definitely did. They got money out of the deal and a free DLC to put out there, which I'm sure most people will download. I downloaded it to take a look, and I'm probably going to get rid of them. I'm probably not, actually. It is a nice happiness boost, but it does sort of tear at my own integrity, though, and I'm kind of like, oh, I'll probably keep it. It's just the sad part. But yes, let's move away from that now, away from SimCity again, and to, well, another bit of news that I was hoping not to come back to quite yet. In a previous episode, we had, already some people claiming that, the Xbox 720 is going to win the next console race, and I didn't like their comments then, and I still don't like them now, and we have a new one with, of course, Nolan Bushnell, the extraordinarily well-known founder of Atari, basically one of the people that made our industry possible in the first place. Very well-known, well-respected man, coming out and saying that, basically, that Xbox will win next gen. And just like with the previous comments we've seen, I always hit escape, damn it. Just like the previous comments we've seen, back on track, it just doesn't fit. It just makes me wonder how much these people that are saying these things are actually paying attention to what's going on with the next console race that technically hasn't even begun yet because they're not out. Now, he is saying that, here's the quote, "I personally believe Microsoft is in a superior position, and the reason is Sony, whenever they change consoles, the software tools that they have are lame." Oh, for God's sakes. Yes, they have been in the past, and for the PS4, it seems to be something that or not that they have yet, but that they will be learning from. Yes, the PS2 was a horrible system to program for, and the PS3 had the cell architecture that really no developers liked working with, because it was completely different from everything else. But the PS4 is going to be basically just a computer. It's no strange architecture or strange coding language. It's a computer. It's a computer with a gamepad. And so that claim just does not fit at all. Yes, in the past they have been bad at it, especially with Kugaragi. Oh, dear God. But they seem to have learned. I mean, it's going to be just a computer with a gamepad. And on top of that, he also says that the Xbox Live Marketplace puts Xbox in a good position to continue forward with that part of the market, which I do agree with. The Xbox Marketplace, it has been really good, especially to the indie development community. That's another thing the PS4 is trying to fix. They are really wanting to bring in the indie community on the PS4, and as I said in a previous episode, they are already laying the groundworks with Unity developers. And they're doing the same with a lot of others. They're wanting to bring in more games into the PS4, making it easier to get onto the platform, not just in programming-wise, but just in ease of accessibility. And, well, that's a wonderful thing. I really support that, and I cannot wait to see what happens with it. But saying that the 720, or whatever they call the next Xbox, is already going to win because of these reasons added to the list of the previous reasons other people have given, it, like I said, just makes me wonder if these people are actually paying attention to what's going on in the gaming industry anymore. As their comments are completely counter to what a lot of people are saying, even developers. I mean, a lot of game companies, including Gearbox, have come out saying that, hey, the PS4, we're really looking forward to it. It looks like it's going to be great to work with. And I hope it is. I do hope it is. And again, we don't know what in the world the next Xbox is going to be. And honestly, if you listen to the rumors, it being the winner in the next console race would greatly surprise me. Now, I don't listen to the rumors. I really do hope that the Xbox is not always on DRM. I mean, come on. Look how well that worked for this game. Not well. And also the required Kinect integration, all these things. Now, again, they're rumors, and I hope they are false, and personally, I'm not giving them a lot of credence. But if they are true, and that's how the Xbox is going to go, I cannot see them being the winner in this next console race. But again, we know nothing about the Xbox yet, which makes me hate these sorts of comments even more. We know nothing of the Xbox. They'll hopefully say something in May, is what most people are thinking, and I'm guessing that as well. But until then, we can't really speculate because we know nothing. We don't even know a whole lot about the PS4 quite yet, but at the moment, from what we know, I would lean towards the PS4. But, again, we know nothing of the Xbox. So we'll see. Just calm down, everyone, and wait until there's information out there. And now to the last bit of news and another subject that I wish I could avoid, but I can't because it is big in the news and, well, an attack on our way of life, our means of entertainment, where we have yet another politician attacking the video game industry. This time it is Senator Dianne Feinstein of California, saying that there should be fewer guns in video games, and that if the industry can't self-regulate, that it should be the government's duty to regulate it for them. Which, that alone annoys me. I really don't want to get into politics, but hey, maybe the government should actually figure out how to regulate things in an equal manner, which they don't do now. So, don't come into our industry when you can't regulate others because of whatever weird and pathetic reasons you have. But to the gaming portion. God, another politician who knows nothing of video games attacking video games. Now, of course, she is bringing up the Sandy Hook tragedy, as every one of these politicians is, and it was a horrible, horrible tragedy, and my heart goes out to those victims. But blaming video games for any form of violence, it ignores the real issues that are at hand. And for government officials to be lambasting video games and saying that, oh, they need this, they need that, and we need less violent video games, and so forth and so on, when our own government has done studies saying that, no, you know what, video games really don't affect people. It boggles my mind. The Secret Service of the United States, the people who protect the president, looked into video games in one of their, I forget exactly what they call them, but in one of their sort of studies of, potential threats and risk assessments. And they found that no, video games are not a concern and should not be. And there have been other governments who have found similar studies, as well as multiple institutions and research groups. No one has found a single link, and the only even minuscule potential link links it with all other forms of media as well. And video games is no worse than any other form of popular media. And if video games were affecting people, dear Lord, everyone who plays Call of Duty, which is millions upon millions of people, there would be massacres in the streets left and right every day. So saying that these video games affect people is just stupid. I mean, I know so many people in the world go with, causation equaling correlation, and it just, which annoys me in the first place, but there are studies, people. They prove the exact opposite of what you continue to say. And even if she does get this law passed through, it's not going to stay long, because the Supreme Court back in 2011, I believe it was the Brown versus the EMA case, determined that video games have the exact same constitutional right to freedom of speech as books, music, and films. So hey, we're constitutionally protected. So stop bothering us, for the love of God. It just, again, it boggles my mind how these people can continuously attack various forms of media. And of course, gaming isn't the only media they attack, and it wasn't the first. Back in the 60s and 70s, they blamed music. In the 80s and 90s, they blamed television and movies. And for basically the last few centuries, they've been blaming books. Video games is just the latest in the line of easy targets, I guess. And people, please stop. As I said, there are a multitude of studies that are out there that show the exact opposite of what you keep saying. Please stop bringing up these issues. It's just not gonna work. Especially considering how popular video gaming is these days. You're not going to be winning any votes with this, honestly, when a vast majority of American citizens these days plays video games in one form or another. These sorts of laws just are idiotic and politically suicidal, in my opinion. To me, it's the same sort of idiocy that you get with politicians who think that we should make porn illegal. It's not going to happen. Quit your yammering and just chill. Alright, that is me for this somewhat depressing episode of Nightcap. I do hope you have all enjoyed and that you come back for the next episode. And have a good one.